Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are talking about eyelids. So this is the first video of our playlist eye, and first we start from eyelids, then we go to extraocular muscle, and then we will go to eye. Okay, so what do we mean by eyelids actually? Remember that eyelids are the structures present anterior to the eyeball which protects the surface of the eyeball against various dust particles or against the other harmful substances. Okay, so how it actions? This eyelids action with the help of opening and closing. Okay, now for example, if this is the eyeball and we are having the eyelids like this, yes, so there is a space present between the superior and the inferior eyelids, and this space is known as palpebral fissure. Yes, this is known as palpebral fissure. Now we see that what are the layers of eyelids, because when you see superiorly you can imagine that it contains muscle, because we voluntarily control the movement of our eyelids, isn't it? We blink, and this along with it we can voluntarily also regulate the movement. So let us see what are the layers of the eyelid. Now always remember that the layer of the eyelid, superficial to deep, it has been divided into total 7 layers. Yes, what are the layers? You see it is present with the mnemonic SSVOTC. Okay, what do we mean by this? S means skin, S means superficial fascia, or you can say that skin followed by the areolar tissue. Yes, superficial fascia, it contains areolar tissue. Then we are having mainly the uh, voluntary muscles, V for voluntary muscles, and it includes orbicularis, oculis, palpebral part. O means orbital septum, T means tarsus, and C means conjunctiva. Conjunctiva, although it's not a part of completely eyelid, because the conjunctiva has two parts. First palpebral, second one it is orbital. So the palpebral part of conjunctiva, it is the deepest part of the eyelid. Let us discuss the structures one by one. As I already said, the most superficial layer, it is the skin. Yes, so always remember that skin is not substantial or so prominent in case of eyelids. It is very thin. Okay, followed by the skin we are having actually the connective tissue which contains loose areolar cells. Yes, and also the loose areolar cells, they are the connective tissue or the superficial fascia. It is also not that prominent than the other parts of our body. Yes, and followed by skin and superficial fascia we are having V, and V means voluntary muscles, and in this case we are having palpebral part. Yes, we are having palpebral part of palpebral part of orbicularis oculi muscle. We know that the orbicularis oculi has two parts. One is orbital part and another is the palpebral part. Yes, and this palpebral part of orbicularis oculi is present in the eyelid. Followed by this orbicularis oculi muscle, we are having, yes, orbital septum. Now what do we mean by orbital septum? You remember that orbital septum is nothing but this is simply the extension of the periosteum of the orbital cavity. You see the bone above the orbital, the roof of the orbital cavity, the periosteum extends downwards and it enters the eyelid, and this forms the orbital septum. Now what will be the function of orbital septum? It's diverse, but if you see that from the structural point of view, then you observe that this orbital septum, it gives attachment to various muscles. For example, the tendon, it actually you see that the tendon of levator palpebrae superioris, yes, The orbital septum attaches the tendon of levator palpebrae superioris to the eyelids. So this is one of very important function of structurally orbital septum. Okay, and orbital septum also gives support to the eyelid also. Followed by the orbital septum, we are having tarsus. Now what do we mean by tarsus? Remember that tarsus, they are actually deep connective tissue. Okay, they are connective tissues and they are actually attached laterally and medially. They are attached laterally and medially with the help of lateral palpebral ligament and medial palpebral ligament. Now in order to visualize this clearly, I just want to move to another important diagram. Just have a look at this diagram. You see, this is the orbital part of orbicularis oculi, followed by the palpebral part of orbicularis oculi. And also let me tell you one thing, that this palpebral part of orbicularis oculi, they are attached medially with the help of medial palpebral ligament and laterally with the help of lateral palpebral ligament. Now what do we mean by medial and lateral palpebral ligament? They are nothing but they are the modification or condensation of the tarsus. The superior and inferior tarsus, they are attached to the lacrimal crest of maxilla. This is the lacrimal crest of maxilla. You see, this is the anterior lacrimal crest of maxilla, and the superior tarsus and inferior tarsus attached medially to anterior lacrimal crest to form medial palpebral ligament. Similarly, the lateral part, okay, laterally this superior and inferior tarsus is attached to the zygomatic bone with the help of lateral palpebral ligament. They form attachments to orbicularis oculi palpebral part. Okay, now you go to this diagram. As you can see, this is the superior tarsus and this is the inferior tarsus. You already observed that this gives attachment to tendon of levator palpebrae superioris also. And also you remember one, not levator palpebrae superioris. This is the superior and inferior tarsus. Now you can see that this superior tarsus, yes, this superior and the inferior tarsus, along with the superior tarsus, we are having two muscles. Yes, this is the tendon of levator palpebrae superioris, which is attached to superior tarsus and it is responsible for elevating the upper eyelid. Okay, and along with this skeletal or the striated muscle, we are having one smooth muscle cell. Smooth muscle means the superior tarsal muscle. This is the superior tarsal muscle, and it is also associated with the superior tarsus. Here in this diagram also you can see that attached to the superior tarsus we are having the tendon of levator palpebrae superioris. Yes, but the superior tarsal muscle, it is a smooth muscle, and you know that due to the superior tarsal muscle, the blinking, the non-voluntary blinking of our eyelids take place. Okay, but when we actually want to move our eyelids or want to blink consciously or voluntarily, then this levator palpebrae superior muscle plays the most crucial role. Now in this point, a very important question raises that what is the difference between the superior, the upper and the lower eyelid. Then always remember that this difference comes in the form of attachment of the superior and inferior tarsus. The other structure, the skin, superficial the superficial tissue, and followed by the voluntary muscle, then orbital septum, all of these remain the same, but the difference come in the form of the superior and inferior tarsus, because you see that in case of upper eyelid you are having this levator palpebrae superioris muscle attached to superior tarsus. On the other hand, the inferior tarsus, it is not associated with any muscle. That is why you can say that this is the most important difference between the superior and the inferior tarsus, along with the difference between upper and lower eyelids. Now in order to get a better view, or in order to give a finishing touch with of our today's discussion, we will see the eyelids in the with the help of one three-dimensional diagram. Now this is a three-dimensional model of the upper and the lower eyelid. Now I am going to uh, uh, describe the structures one by one. You can see the skin and the superficial fascia along with the voluntary muscle, that is the orbicularis oculi. It has been removed. Now we are having the structure next to it. It is the orbital septum. The orbital septum, this is a continuation of the pericranium above and below, you can see, and followed by this orbital septum we are having superior and the inferior tarsus. This is the superior tarsus and this is the inferior tarsus. This is shown only half. On the right side you can see this is the superior tarsus and this is the inferior tarsus. Okay, now I already say that the superior tarsus, it is associated with two muscles. Here in this diagram, in this three-dimensional model, you can visualize, yes, this is the levator palpebrae superioris muscle. This levator palpebrae superioris is attached to the superior tarsus, and along with this levator palpebrae superioris you have some bundles of smooth muscle, which is the superior tarsal muscle, and it is also associated with the superior tarsus. This way we come to end in today's topic. So if you like my work, then please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.